two, one, and we're live. Welcome to the Beerumverate. It is I, the Burkoff, and I am joined by McWomble
Hello, everybody.
and
Happy Christmas.
the stand user.
Cheers.
So we finally did
Happy
it,
Christmas.
guys. We actually had another episode with all three of us on. We were able to get the times worked out. And
Yeah.
Keith, you want to run down the disclosures about drinking and all that good stuff?
Yeah, don't do it. It ruins your life. We personally hate it. Don't do it anymore. I've been clean now for about 9.5 hours.
You don't look too good. You look like you could use a beer, man.
Yeah, yes, we are the Beerumverate made up of us three idiots. We're not here to promote drinking. We're just three guys who like beer and video games and talk about both of them. We are not sponsored by anyone yet. Any breweries out there who want to send us some freebies, go for it. Fill your boots, or fill our boots, or a
And
hollow
also,
leg.
hydrate with something while you're drinking. You'll
Like
thank yourself
tea.
in the morning.
What the hell is that, Evan?
It's a 2 liter of barley tea. It's like super cheap, so just zero caffeine, just straight barley tea. It'll help. I'll thank myself Sunday morning.
It's weird that it comes in a plastic jug like water does here.
Oh, this is the 2 liter bottle in Japan. They all kind of look like this.
Okay.
And you know how we have like aisles of cereal, but they have like aisles of like bottled tea. It's so popular here.
Interesting. All right.
And Evan, you probably won't be able to see this, but we've really splashed out this time round, and we've got two wreaths
Yeah.
on the YouTube panel. It's classy.
Yeah, they're 8-bit wreaths.
Oh, really? Oh no, yeah, I
Yes.
can't see anything.
No, that's fine. You can go back and rewatch and learn from the mistakes that we've made.
I'm
Right.
looking forward to it.
So what are we doing today? We're going to talk about our most cherished video game memories from around this time of year. I was talking to Evan beforehand, and in Japan, Christmas, as you might imagine, isn't that big a deal. This is our non-denominational holiday special. So we and that's one thing in the UK we don't. It's not happy holidays. It's happy Christmas, because whilst we're a secular country, we seem to absolve that from being a thing that we have to welcome everyone inclusively. I think everyone just accepts that it's around Christmas, so everyone doesn't mind.
Well,
Rather
there's Boxing Day too, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
around the same time?
Yeah, you guys got it right. You put 2 holidays in a row. Like, how did we in the States miss out on Boxing Day? Like, why don't we should adapt that day.
Yeah, don't ask me why it's called that. It's not because there's always
I
a
actually
fight.
thought you guys like watched boxing matches like the day after Christmas. Literally what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. I had an Australian girlfriend talking about Boxing Day. I was like, I don't think we have that in the States.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't do. Also, by the way, Merry Chimichanga.
Nice.
Good one.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have one. I got
What,
like
a
a
Christmas
Mr.
spirit?
Rogers. I got a Mr. Rogers sweater on though. It's pretty sweet.
Mr.
It's the only
Rogers.
one I could find.
You mean like
You
Mr.
look like
Rogers?
an-
It's not actually a Mr. Rogers sweater.
Yeah. Did I say it was?
Well, I was expecting to see Mr. Rogers' face or his neighborhood.
That sounded really mean. I was like, did I say it was, Matt? That is not how I meant that to come out.
It's all good.
No, it looks like an old man's sweater. That's as close as I could get, and I don't have a red one. So, Matt, what about you? What are you wearing?
Nothing that I want to show the people watching.
Fair enough.
Just a regular old T-shirt and pajamas. So.
Right. Okay. Because this is a time of giving and good-natured spirit and goodwill to all men and women and Brexiteers, even those bastards. This is a non-political podcast as well. Evan, Matt and I got together and we didn't actually get you something, but our present to you is you have 3 minutes to tell us everything that we got wrong from the episode about #the Game Awards. Go.
Oh shit, man! I think, but I kind of forgot everything. I was like yelling at the screen when I was watching it on YouTube. Not wrong. One thing that I was kind of this is the only thing I was surprised that you guys got totally glossed over the trailer for the game from the makers of Abzu, and then both of you seem kind of lukewarm on Journey, like, oh, that's the game like my wife played and she enjoyed it, or like I was like, what, you guys don't like Journey, or you didn't play Abzu? I was just taken back. I thought I don't know.
No, I liked both, and I played both.
Oh, okay.
I think Journey's better than Abzu, that's for sure.
Oh, so do I. Totally.
Yeah.
By the way, another game that you can 100% and doesn't have a platinum trophy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Ridiculous! Sorry. But I don't know why I said that. But the trailer through the game, which I actually forgot the name. It's not out yet. I thought it's like someone got, my Shadow of the Colossus in a Journey inspired game. Like, she had that hawk friend, and the hawk totally reminded me of the hawk you see at the beginning of Shadow of the Colossus. It's the first thing that you see. She's got a bow and arrow. She's fighting these creatures in woods, but it also seems like more exploratory, where most of the time maybe you're not fighting. You're probably doing something more like Abzu or Journey, where you're just kind of traversing the world and taking your time and
I think
taking the whole.
I might be second guessing what game I thought it was. It's not the forest one, or is that the same game?
I'm pretty sure it's the same game.
Okay.
But I mean, for me, that was the Pathless. There you go, the Pathless.
The Pathless is what it's called. All right.
Yeah, for me, that was the biggest thing out of the words for me. I'm like kind of weirded out by all these like sci-fi post-apocalyptic games all just coming out so quickly. Like there was one, it's like I keep mixing up the Lonely Lost Planet and then the other one that like the Fallout New Vegas guys are doing. Those kind of look similar to me.
The Outer Worlds. Okay, so the Outer Worlds does have a kind of a post-apocalyptic feel to it, but apparently it takes place in a universe where you can traverse different planets, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It looks cool to me. I mean, I'm definitely gonna check it out because it's Obsidian. And
definitely. I mean, I need to see more for sure, but Fallout New Vegas is the only new Fallout game I've played aside from the original 2, and I liked it a lot. So I guess there's that.
What about
actually 3 minutes up? That was great. Thanks very much.
Okay. Moving on.
I don't know what had happened because I started watching the Game Awards on YouTube and the video quality was absolute garbage. So I swapped over and watched it on Twitch. That's Nintendo purposefully feeding messages to my brain to say Nintendo Switch as opposed to other words.
Better bust out that tinfoil hat.
I swear that on the Twitch stream stuff was missing. Huh. So there was the bit with Sonic Fox that people were talking about. It wasn't on the Twitch stream. The trailer for the Pathless wasn't on the Twitch stream that I watched.
Weird.
So it's probably why I didn't care because I didn't actually see it.
Is there an archive on Twitch? Do we know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I watched because I wasn't getting up at 2 o'clock in the bloody morning. Well, if I'm not getting up at 2 a.m. to talk to you two handsome bastards, I'm not getting up at 2 a.m. to watch Jeff Keighley not wear socks.
Right. We can get on that again for another 15 minutes if you want.
But yeah, like I thought the Game Awards were like pretty good. It's always like Oscar season's coming around, and I try to watch all the movies that are nominated for Best Picture. And then I'm like, oh, the Oscars are coming. Yeah, it's gonna be a good show, and it's like never as good as like I'm building it up to be, and I start watching it, I'm like, oh yeah, it always is kind of like this, and then I'll forget about it, and the next year I'll be like, oh yeah, the Oscars, you know, let's see best director. Oh, okay, that's nominated. All right, and then you watch it, you're like, yeah, this is what this always is. So the Game Awards is similar to me, where the build up to it seemed more exciting, and then you watch it, you're like, yeah, this is an award show. You know what I mean? That's kind
Yeah.
of how I felt while watching it.
Yeah.
I knew God of War was gonna win. I fucking knew it. I just knew
That's bullshit.
There's no way it could give that award to Red Dead.
That's
Dude,
bullshit.
I'm fucking serious. I'm not. I don't get anything except for, I don't know, a boost to my ego by saying it. But I knew it was gonna win.
No,
Dude,
because
I'm-
all right,
I'm-
the last episode that we all did together, you were like, Red Dead's probably gonna win it, but I want God of War to win.
Did I say that?
Yes. And maybe I'm wrong. You can go back and listen to it. That was my memory of it.
All right. Well, maybe I did say that, but
And I'm pretty sure
later
I
I
said
changed
that too. I was like, yeah, Red Dead's probably gonna
but
win.
in between that episode and the Game Awards, I changed my mind, but I didn't tell anybody.
That's fair. I'll accept that. That's all right.
But anyways, yeah, I thought it was okay. It's getting better. I guess I'll say that. But anyways, we can move on.
All right.
That was about 5 minutes, or probably more.
It usually is.
We need to get you practicing brevity.
Myself for not moving the pod hours upon hours editing the podcast reload, Mass Defect, a deep dive into Mass Effect Andromeda.
So with all the
podcast.
problems, that actually came out quite well.
I thought so
Episode
too. Yeah.
56, which is on YouTube right now. Just search for podcast reload, and all three of us are on there actually. So.
I should throw a.
Well, that was the episode that spawned this shower of shite that we're trying to.
Oh yeah, that is true, isn't it? Yeah, that is how that came about.
Yeah, because it was after that episode that we all got on Twitter and started talking to each other. And we're like, we should do this again, all the time.
You know, that's kind of why I feel bad about not doing podcast reload anymore, because it was always nice that people that were on Sifted got to talk with each other for the first time, and then they ended up talking with each other later on the site, or you just get to know more about someone by actually talking to them instead of reading text on a screen for years and years, you know?
True, yeah. Well, yeah, honestly,
Well,
I mean, that's...
I mean, we'll see what happens with Sifted, but my goal, I can't really explain it now, but I'm super fucking busy and I don't have time on the weekends, but starting next year on February or March, I might be able to get the ball rolling again
all right.
on a more regular basis, like fortnightly. So we'll see. Anyways,
Fortnightly. That's a horrible reference.
Well, I don't think he meant that. I just think he was.
no, I just meant it like on a 2-week basis, every 2 weeks. I don't know why I said fortnightly. Americans don't use the term.
It's just in the zeitgeist right now, so.
Yeah, my mistakes.
All right, well, Keith, you haven't talked too much. You want to kick us off with the main topic?
I'm after. That's kind of intentional.
Okay.
Is it one? I'm feeling quite tired. It's 20 to 8 on a Saturday morning, and it's still dark outside.
Jesus.
And right, let's get cheery, motherfuckers. So Christmas, that's nice, isn't it?
It is.
It should be in September because those Roman emperors kept adding months to the calendar because they felt like it. But now it's in December, so it doesn't matter. It's still a nice time of the year. It's still a time for family and giving. And one of those things that people give are video games and consoles to play said games on. And now we are going to talk about the times where we were most
at Christmas
about
time.
the gifts that we got. Who wants to kick off, since I'm the only person that actually bothered putting anything in the Google Doc?
That's kind of why I passed it to you. I looked at the Google Doc and I was like, shit, I didn't write anything.
You can go. You can. We'll follow you. We'll follow you.
We're following. So there is a photograph of my brother and I, and there is literally that look on my face that I just did. That was me when I was probably about 9, when for Christmas one year he and I got the Game Boy with
Nice.
Nintendo and Super Mario, and the look on my face is
Your mom got the shot.
yeah.
Does it happen?
So yeah, that was kind of the first true gaming related gift that I ever got, and I bloody love that thing. That had probably a better battery life than the Nintendo Switch, even though you were plugging 4 AAA batteries into it every time.
Yeah, it probably did. Do you remember what year that was that you got the Game Boy?
It wasn't the year that it first came out. It might have been the year after. So whoever wants to look that up whilst I'm talking, and then you can try and figure out how old I am.
I think it was 90 or 91 that the Game Boy came out.
So it could have been. Yeah, it could have been the year that it came out. But I remember some of the. It ended up whilst it was being kind of like a shared present. I don't know.
Yeah, I was
then
just gonna say, how the hell do you share a Game Boy with that? With like, you can't see shit from the side of that screen.
Yeah, but it was kind of the thing, like one life, one life. So if you died on Tetris, you'd hand it over, and you die in Tetris. If you
No, you
lose,
you kind of do die in Tetris, I suppose. You lose.
yeah. Or if you run out of all your lives in Super Mario, you hand it over and
So-
give someone else.
Was your brother like looking over your shoulder? You can't really get a good angle with the screen
No.
so small.
But it kind of, I don't know for whatever reason, it kind of just defaulted to being mine a bit.
Are
Maybe
you older than
because-
your brother?
No.
Oh
I
wow, you fucking flip that switch. I was gonna, you turn that bus on its head.
Well, I think before Get Good became a meme, the best way to hold on to the Game Boy was to be good at the game you were playing.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, are you saying the Game Boy came out before the meme Get Good?
Yes,
I'm
it
not so
did.
sure about that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
the original Game Boy and Tetris were released before Dark Souls.
Okay. Actually, some people say Tetris was the first Dark Souls. It's very Souls-like, if you think about it. I'm sorry.
I'm losing you.
This,
All that.
going off the rails. Anyways,
How
Are
much
you-
have you had to drink already?
I'm on my, like half a beer.
Okay.
Been way more than Evan so far.
Shit. I got a beer to I got a beer to show you, Keith. Once I finish this beer, but anyway, so you kind of pass the Game Boy back and forth between you and your brother, and
Yeah, it was mainly to kind of keep us quiet on long car journeys from South London to Scotland and Kent for visiting family. So it's kind of, here's a Game Boy, shut the fuck up. No.
your
But,
parents
yeah.
are just like looking at each other, like, "Oh my god, that thing is magic. This is great."
Yeah.
It's driving.
But some of the games on that we didn't get that very first Christmas, but some of the games I remember most were on that little portable handheld system. The Game Boy Crash Test Dummies. Did either of you guys?
No, I don't even remember that
Play that?
game.
I don't remember that.
That was
I
pretty
remember
cool.
one of the Genesis or Mega Drive games.
I think I do remember it on Genesis. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that, playing it at my friend's house.
And there was a kickboxer one as well, which was hard as balls. You did training to try and boost your stats. You could practice new moves. You had different stances that you could go into, and then you get into a fight and they kick your ass.
Wow.
It's just, you just lose. Yeah, those, a lot of those games are hard.
It was mainly because I always wanted to try and do the most elaborate moves rather than just kick someone in the face. So I kept on trying to do kind of spinning back fist and flying kicks and things like that, rather than just standing there and trying to punch someone.
Yeah.
Do you remember having to like actually have a light on the screen.
Yeah, I had that.
It's it's
So
funny.
yeah,
Remember that?
Like
I
my
had
it's
this
a little
magnifying glass
magnifying
that like
thing
slid on
with
the
the lights
top.
on.
Remember that? Yeah.
yeah,
Like stuck out. Yeah.
my
Wow.
wife
That's
found
peripherals.
her old Game Boy Color a few years ago and pulled it out, and I was like, oh, I haven't played fucking Game Boy in forever. And went to play it, and I was like, holy shit! Like I need a light on this thing. I can't even see the goddamn screen.
That's why the GBA, especially I think it's the AVS 101 that has the backlit screen adjuster on it. The second
Yes, yeah.
GBA SP model is great because you can play uh, Game Boy games on it.
Did either of you have a Game Gear? Because I had a Game
No.
Gear before a Game Boy.
No, no, I didn't.
I
My
want.
friend across the street across the alley actually had one.
I wanted
You
to be the
lived in
cool
an alley.
kid and get the one with the fucking that plugs into the wall and has a color
Mhm.
screen. And so I got a Game Gear, but there's like maybe 4 games total for that system that are actually any good. Um, so yeah, that was short lived, I guess.
Like I think the initial like impact of seeing a handheld that can output color was amazing, but then you slowly realize that the Game Boy is actually way better.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
exactly.
the choice of games you had on the Game Boy was absolutely amazing.
Even the links, I remember when the links came out, I was like, "Holy shit, this is terrible!" and like the seconds in between me saying that were like what, like 3 days maybe.
Right.
But at first, it was awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
Batman Returns. I remember playing that.
the only game that was any good for the Game Gear was Shining Force, the Sword of Hylia or Hylia, something like that. That's
Evan,
just
your
like that
screen just
reference went
froze.
right over your guys' head. You're like,
Is
I have
it?
no idea
Yeah,
what fuck
it's
game
like,
that is.
I've got one, I
Shit.
had no
I'm
idea
here.
what game that
Hear
was,
me?
and two, Evan's stream froze when he was doing this. It looked like he was just down into it.
Nope. Hey, my screen did not freeze. I was chugging the shit out of that beer.
Yeah. Actually, all right. So the last time we did this, I was drinking Tenaya Creek, the craft lager. So tonight I have their Bonanza Brown Ale. I don't know if I've
I like the can.
yeah, it's kind of a cool can. Their
It's-
artwork is cool, just in general for their cans. But yeah, so this is kind of like a Newcastle, but with just a little more heft. It's 5.4 instead of 4.8.
I think I'd like that. I think Newcastle is a bit too sweet for me. It doesn't have a lot of punch. It doesn't have a lot of back taste on the back end. It's a bit watery for me. So
Well, this one's
if it was
only 21 IBU, so it is a little on the sweeter side. I think my camera's backwards. You can't really see that, but um, yeah. So, but it's kind of basically like Newcastle, just with like just a little more heft to it. Um, let's see, Keith, you have some other items on your list as well. So the Game Boy was your first great gaming memory, but then came some other stuff that was
Yeah.
definitely down the line a few years
so,
later.
having not spoken about this game at all in the past with you guys, I found where my parents were hiding a video game that they got me specifically for Christmas, and that was Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2.
Nice.
So I found where the box was, and it just I remember that the box was massive, and all you got inside was the CD, so CD case,
Right.
and
Right.
the manual, and the manual didn't even kind of fill out the whole size of the box. So I don't know why they just didn't make the box smaller. The box was huge. Anyway, enough talking about the size of boxes. I read that manual about at least a dozen times
Okay.
before I even got to get the game and put it into the PC and install it. But I was just so excited that I knew I was getting it. So I just keep going, opening the box, taking the CD case out, just looking at the art on the CD case and reading the manual.
How did you?
I remember reading manuals all the time back in the day.
How did you have time to read the manual and not install it on your computer?
Well, because it was a Christmas present, so I couldn't just take it and install it and then play the game. So, oh yeah, happy. No, this is a totally different game that you bought me for Christmas, parents.
Okay.
And so I had to wait until Christmas.
How long? How long was that though? Like, how many months or weeks or whatever before? Do you remember?
It was probably a month at least, maybe a bit longer.
Okay, that's a long time.
So, yeah. So yeah, the willpower I had not to go and install it and pretend that it wasn't the Christmas present. Totally different game.
Practice the face every time.
Yeah.
When I open this, my face is gonna be like this.
Yeah, so I don't remember my reaction. I don't know if I faked it or not. It's just like, yep, thanks. I'll see you in 3 hours.
Right.
But it's one thing that made me think back to the original Mass Effect that have we talked about Mass Effect?
I don't know if we have. Not in depth, maybe.
I think we have.
But how BioWare launched the original game. So they had their website built, and you could go and you could look at all of the different aspects of the game. So they had stuff about all of the technology, all the different races.
So you knew about that game
well before it launched, yeah, because
wow.
I'd read up, so I was gonna.
Man, you are the biggest fan that I know for sure.
Not we're not still on Dark Forces, are we?
Well, kind of, but that was the kind of the link that I made in my own mind about going back and kind of reading the manual before I could actually play the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So the modern equivalent would be going and reading the website for Mass Effect over and over again. Is it cold?
It actually does look like a real fireplace. Sorry to blow the magic for anybody who thought that was a real fireplace.
That's not bad. Well, because the wood's behind it, I guess.
Yeah, no, it totally looks like a real fireplace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think you should just lay out on that couch.
But I can't drink my beer. That's the problem.
Well, you could. You just keep your head tilted forward a bit.
I'll think. I'll work out the logistics in my head while we talk about this. So then,
can you actually play guitar, or is that there for decoration?
I can play. I'm pretty shit, but I can play it.
Yeah.
You don't believe me, do you?
I don't want you to.
I'm not busting it out. Trust me.
I'd say that was me too. I can play, but I'm not that good. I know a few chords. It'll get me through 10 songs maybe.
Have you guys seen I don't know if it was a joke or not, but there was or where did I see it? I think it was a spoof Christmas card or a spoof birthday card. It's like, I bought you just enough guitar lessons to get you laid.
Yeah, that's about how much of the guitar I know. That's about it.
I feel like when I was in high school, it was you're either a jock or a musician. You either know how to play guitar or some type of an instrument, or you play a sport, and that's the only way that you're gonna get girls. So
I don't know, man. I had a weird transition. I was the skater who listened to Slipknot, and then I started playing the guitar and started listening to Dave.
That is kind of a weird transition.
Yeah.
Getting back to manuals.
Sorry.
In games.
Manual.
Yeah. Are you done talking about Jedi Knight 2, or do you have any other memories?
Is that game on GOG? Because I would buy that.
Oh, dude, it's got to be. I would almost venture to guess that it is definitely on GOG.
Okay.
In fact, I'm gonna look it up.
That's another reason to stop playing Red Dead 2 and go and play something that might be a bit more fun.
Yeah, reason number 56.
Yeah.
I know for a fact the original Dark Forces is on there because I've looked at that a few times. And
some of the cheats in that game are absolutely brilliant as well. Do you remember when games had cheat codes?
Yeah, instead of them, selling it to you on the side.
It's kind of interesting that you mentioned Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, because I played the original Dark Forces on DOS at my friend's house, and then I didn't get back into the series until 3, Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was when I had it like on my own PC. And
No, that wasn't Academy. That was Outcast.
was it Outcast? Which one was Academy?
Yeah. Academy was where Kyle Katarn and Luke Skywalker have set up a Jedi Academy, and you play as your own character. You get to pick the race and gender of the character who goes to the academy, and then you get to choose whether you're good or evil.
So was that okay? So that must have been the 4th game then.
Yeah.
All right, so I missed 2 in between then. I missed 2 and 3, and didn't get back into the series until Jedi Academy.
Go back and play 2 because it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So final one for me, and then I don't know. Do I just shut down and go home? Oh, I am home already. I could just sit back and listen to you two, just watch Evan toast himself by his fireplace.
I feel warm for some strange reason, even though the heat's not on.
That might be the beer.
Oh, yeah, that's probably right.
So the last thing I got really excited about, and then again, this is something that I knew that I was getting, was my PS4 Pro, which I got, what would it be, 3 years ago? Wow. Would it be 3 years?
I don't.
No.
Two or three, 2.5 maybe.
2. Yeah. So it was when it launched, November. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to look up when it launched.
I think it launched November 2016.
So that's when I got it. So 2 years.
That's when that was my first PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
you got another one?
Oh. No, who, me?
Yeah, what happened to your PS Pro?
Oh, no, I'm saying that I bought my PS4 Pro the day it came out.
Oh, okay. I thought it had
'Cause
already broke.
I never owned a PS4 Pro.
Well, you said your
PS4
first PS Pro, and I was like, or your first PS4, and I was like, holy shit! Like your PS Pro broke?
No, I probably just didn't speak correctly. But yeah,
don't
around the same time.
I wouldn't put that on you, dude. I definitely have had a few beers before this podcast, so.
Well, yeah. Well, so how did you?
So in those 2 years, I've already got more trophy than some of my friends who had their PlayStation accounts going back to the beginning of the PS3 era. So well done, me.
Nice.
Speaking of that, I got my PlayStation 3 in 2012.
Wow. Okay. I got mine. I think I got my PS3 in the beginning of 2011.
2011. Oh, okay. So
yeah.
about a year out, but yeah, so I just didn't have the money for it. Like shit. In 2010, I was like playing Chrono Cross on the PlayStation 2. I couldn't afford a PlayStation 3. Like I'd been looking at that fucking system since like 2006.
No,
Little did I know I wouldn't be able to get it until 6 years later. If I would have told myself that in 2006, like you will be so fucking broke. You will not be getting the system for. I might have ended it all right there, but.
yeah, I know. I had gotten out of gaming for a while, and the one thing that brought me back was I had been playing. I just built a new PC, and I had been playing Oblivion. I'd been playing Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion and New Vegas. So my PC could handle that, but I saw the advertisements and the trailers and everything for Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. It's either I'm going to spend the money on a PS3, which is basically the same cost as the graphics card that I need to play this, or get the graphics card. And I was like, well, let me get the PS3 that's backwards compatible. So I like went out and found a.
So you could buy Final Fantasy VII again.
Yeah, exactly. So that I could buy Final Fantasy 7, 6, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Colony Wars. Shout out to Colony Wars.
Gotta say it once an episode. It's
Once-
like a fucking Seinfeld. Superman isn't actually somewhere in every episode of Seinfeld.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta say it.
No, I grabbed these because we were talking about manuals to games. So I picked up. So Psygnosis had like a lot of great games for the PlayStation back in the day, and like they were the company that did Lemmings and all that kind of stuff. And they had this one called G Police, which was freaking horrible. But I remember getting this game and reading the manual and flipping through all the pages, and then you finally get to the back and it's an advertisement for Colony Wars. And I remember seeing Colony Wars in like PlayStation Magazine and all that, and so there's the connection there.
Nice. Keith, that was your first place PS4 was the Pro. What game? I mean, whoever bought you the present, I'm assuming your wife. She had to buy at least one game for you. What'd she get you?
So it was kind of I put in a load of money. I'd been saving up a load of store credit.
Okay.
So it was mainly a gift from me to me. So
Best
thanks me.
present around.
Those are the best, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my wife gave me some money towards it, and I asked for money from everyone else who would be giving me a gift. So that was literally the one thing that I got last.
Yeah, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Asking your wife to drop whatever, like, what was it, 450 pounds for Christmas or whatever? That's a shit ton of money for a Christmas present.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're pretty brassic as well. So yeah, it wasn't that much. It was. How much did I end up paying for it? It was about 100 and I paid £160 for the PS4 Pro, and
That's not bad.
I think I got one game with it, which I can't remember what that was. But then because it was late in the game, the sales were on over Christmas. So I think my wife said, "I'll give you some money for the system, but do you want me to get you any games?" So I think I got Doom, which was freaking awesome.
Right.
Deus
I have
Ex,
that.
man,
I've never played it yet.
it's really good. Deus Ex, which I got thoroughly bored of, the breaking and entering simulator.
I quite liked Human Revolution. I still need to play Mankind Divided.
Yeah, and then just a load of other stuff, and I've just been very lucky over the few years that I made the choice of buying that system rather than an Xbox.
Oh yeah, definitely. At least at this point.
Yeah,
with all the
and
exclusives.
And literally whilst we're streaming, I've just had a advert. It's a last minute Christmas deals from Game, which is the GameStop equivalent in the UK.
It's a good name. It's a really good name.
Pretty basic game.
Shitty customer service, but it's a good name.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people on Sifted echo that same thing about how shit Game is. I mean, obviously I've never been there, but
You know, it's funny. Like every time that I go into GameStop, there's always something that I stump the CSR on.
oh really?
Yeah, and CSR, customer service rep. Yeah, like I'll bring up something like, "Oh yeah, okay," and then they just like don't even concede the fact that they can't discuss the topic with me, or they'll bring up a game like, "Oh, have you pre-ordered this?" And I'll just like shoot some stuff at them like, "No, I don't want to do a pre-order because yada yada yada." And they're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, how do you work a minimum wage job and not know all this shit? You know what I mean? Like my day is so taken up, my time is I'm so busy, but I still have time to get on Sifted and like.
Oh, and this is part of their job. Like they should know this shit.
Right.
You should know more than I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's quite funny. Last time I went in there, just knows that the secondhand stuff they had in case there was anything good that I could pick up on the cheap. And instead of doing that, I just got some PlayStation credit, and I said to the guy who was serving, I said, "Did you watch the Game Awards?" And he went, "No." Were they on? It's like, for fuck's sake, man.
Like stream that shit on the like 4 TVs you have, then
Right. Yeah.
But the really funny thing was that morning. So I went in the morning after the Game Awards was shown, and I said to Matt last time we were talking, literally. So what would it have been? About 6 to 8 hours after the Game Awards had finished, I'd already had an email to say, "Do you want to pre-order some of the announcements from
Right.
the same
From
organization that this guy was working for?"
and he didn't even know it. Like, yeah, don't you know the promotions that your company is
Yeah, it's
giving you?
either they don't pay him enough or they just really don't give a shit. I don't know how else. Yeah, it doesn't.
Let's shit on people who make minimum wage. It's only Christmas.
I mean, I'm not trying to shit on him. I'm just saying.
No, but it's a good point. It's just a bit surprising that they don't know.
Oh, they knew the pre-order promotions. It's just I was a bit confused as to the fact that they didn't know the Game Awards, one, existed and two, were on, but they could tell me the things that I could pre-order from the show. So it just goes to show what the management's like there is like, here's your pre-order list. Every time someone comes to the till, you ask them if they want to pre-order one of these fuckers.
I would seriously.
Hey, Red Dead just won Best Action Game of 2018. You want to pre-order it?
I would seriously consider a career change if I thought I could make any money at it. You know what I mean?
I'd consider a career change if I spoke like that. I don't know how my voice has anything to do with the job I have, but anyways.
Well, you could do VO. You could do VO for the videos that play in the background while you're trying to shop for games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could do them in Japanese. That would be quite interesting.
Yeah, but the Japanese marketing for stuff is always so much better. I wouldn't do it justice. I always think of some crazy way to.
I think you would.
Like
I think you would do our audience justice if you just come up with something like real quick.
I'm not doing it. I don't like being put on the spot.
All right, fair enough.
Not when I'm one beer in.
Changing topic a bit. Evan, is anyone in Japan actually giving a crap about Godzilla King of Monsters?
I don't think anyone knows about it.
Yeah.
I've seen the stuff on Twitter, but I don't know if anyone really gives a shit about the Western Godzilla movies. I haven't heard anyone really talk about it. I saw the 2015. Which one was it?
2015. Yeah, the 2005 one was god awful.
Yeah, 2015 remake or the reboot with Brian hated that movie. I thought it sucked. But the new one looks pretty promising. They're just like, who cares about all the humans? Let's just see these giant monsters just fucking destroy the city and try to kill each other. And it's like, yeah, that's what we've always wanted since Godzilla first stomped on Tokyo. That's all we wanted. So I'm glad that at least the posters and the promotional material is pushing that part of it. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing Suspiria above everything. It hasn't come out in Japan yet. It comes out in January. But that does nothing to do with Japan or video games.
So I don't know anything about the new Godzilla movie. This is a Western-made Godzilla movie that's coming out this year.
So it's a direct sequel to the one from 2015, which made no sense because it had an American being in charge of a Japanese nuclear power station, which would just never happen.
Probably not.
Bryan Cranston, and then they show you his house, and like this shot of Tokyo is like this place doesn't exist. Like just show it in like a normal building. Like this does not look like Japan. This is what like you think Japan looks like. It's not what it actually looks like. Like I was already like annoyed from the beginning of that movie.
So well, the bits with Godzilla in it are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, but it's just so few and far between. And like
the bits with people in it were just
the son has to rescue like an Asian boy on the train because Godzilla people like Japanese created the monster. So it's like what's going on here? And of course he reunites this Asian boy with his family. I'm like, oh my god, who wrote that part? Who wrote that scene?
I don't think I've seen
Terrible.
I don't think I've seen the '05 one either. I think the last one that I watched was Final Wars, and that's not the one that you guys are talking about.
No, this is a Western movie with Benjamin Breaking Bad's Ryan Cranston.
Brian
Fuck
Cranston.
everything. Bryan Cranston. Yeah, he was in the.
Get
He was
the
in the
I didn't
movie.
even know about this.
And his son was the main actor in Kick-Ass, the guy in the green and yellow suit. He's like
Okay.
a military guy, and yeah. And then like the monster and Godzilla fight in San Francisco at the end, and there's this low shot in like Chinatown, this low shot looking up at Godzilla to show like how big he is, and there's all these Chinese lanterns. I was like, what are Chinese lanterns? Are they trying to wink at Japan by showing Chinese lanterns? It's like this movie sucks. But anyways,
All right, so
yeah,
you guys know what I'm talking about with
way
Final
off
Wars,
topic.
though, right?
yeah, this is a Japanese made one where like
Yeah.
basically
I thought
like,
that was like the
Godzilla
last.
destroys like everyone, right?
I thought that was like the last Godzilla movie that they made, except for the Netflix animated one.
Japanese made one, right? In between there, they rebooted the series in 2015 in the West. Oh, and then they made the director of the Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Did
He
the
made a movie called New Godzilla, Shin Godzilla,
okay?
which was the Japanese one. But anyways, yeah, the new movie looks promising.
All right, yeah, that is getting
Something
Right,
about,
let's
something about Christmas in video games, I think.
a little off topic.
Where the hell are we?
All right, so we can move on.
Yeah,
to,
that's me. I don't care. I'm going back to sleep. You guys talk about stuff. Well done.
All right, Matt,
Christmas.
you wanna talk about your most cherished gaming Christmas memories, or
Well, not my most cherished. Only because I wrote about it. It'll be up on thewellreadmage.com Sunday Pacific time. So probably Monday for everybody else that's in Europe.
What was that website again, Matt?
The Well Read Mage, WELLREDMAGE.com.
and that's a wink to the Red Mage from the Final series,
Yeah, the guy that runs the website, Moses,
the Red Mage class.
he's a huge Final Fantasy fan. So the site's kind of modeled after that. Everybody has their own custom 8-bit avatars.
What's your avatar?
I am known as the overly sentimental, or no, I'm the optimistically sentimental Alabaster Mage. That's my
Wow.
title on the website.
Try saying that 5 times fast when you're drunk.
No, everybody refers to me as the OS Alabaster Mage.
Okay, there you go.
So I won't share that, but I will talk about. I was trying to think while you guys were talking about like some of the best games that I've received during Christmas, and I gotta go back to Sonic Spinball. So
Ooh,
maybe
you
not.
did a drunk player that back a couple years ago as well.
Yeah,
didn't you?
so it's a little callback, but probably not my most cherished gaming memory for Christmas because at the time that I got the game, I was so disappointed. I wanted Sonic and Knuckles, but apparently this was the only game that my parents could find that was Sonic, or it was the cheapest Sonic game that they could find, and they thought, well, he doesn't have this. It's a new Sonic game. We'll just give it to him for Christmas. And yeah, so like when I got it, I was like, "Oh, thank you, Sonic. Awesome." Not the Sonic game I wanted. But it eventually became one of my favorite Sonic games like of all time.
You thought to yourself, I wonder how many years later I could drunk play this and stream it live.
Was not thinking about that as probably an 8-year-old child, I guess, when I got that. Yeah, that's
That game is hard. That game is so hard.
it is. It is hard. I've never actually beaten it either.
Well, it's like you got to figure out what to do in each level is a puzzle.
Right, it's pretty random too. Like
Yeah.
in terms of like trying to get the patterns right.
Oh,
Uh,
man, that frame rate though, am I right?
it was pretty solid. It's like a 60
I
frames.
used really?
Yeah.
I remember it being choppy as hell. Maybe, well, maybe
Um,
not.
no, I mean I have it on my. I've got one of those at games Genesises, which are the ones you plug into the TV, and they've got like all the Genesis games loaded on it. It's got Sonic Spinball on that, and it plays pretty well. The sound sucks, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, I do remember
It'll be
hearing
coming out on
from it
the
sucks, but so was this one of those things, Matt, where like you get a game and you only get one game, so you just like sit and replay it and just get like really good at it type of thing?
Yeah, definitely. That was like the game that I got that year for Christmas.
Right.
And so yeah, I just spent an enormous amount of time playing it because I didn't have anything else. Especially, you get it for Christmas, you're on winter break, so you've got time to kill. You got at least another week or two before school starts again, you know.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. With winter vacation and all, definitely.
yeah, so I'd say that's my second most cherished gaming memory of all time for Christmas or for my non-denominational holiday.
Right. That's good.
because the only time I played that was on the Sega Mega Drive collection or the Sega Genesis collection for you, and that's getting re-released soon for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
So
it's
I think it'll
well,
be.
I mean that collection's on the PS3, the Xbox 360. It's already on the
It's been
PS4.
released. It's been released as many times as Skyrim.
Just about,
Almost.
yeah. But on the
Almost.
Switch, get ready for that Switch tax. I'll
Yeah.
probably still pay it because fuck it, I want to
That's
play those games
sweet,
on the go.
sweet Switch tax.
Yeah.
I just bought a shit ton of games on the PSN holiday sale. And I was just thinking like, well, I bought like 6 games.
All right.
If I tried to buy Yoshi's Woolly World and Pikmin 3 for the Wii U used, it would be more expensive than the 6 games that I bought, all of which have probably come out within the last year.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's
I'm actually
ridiculous.
I'm jumping on right now to see what they've got for sale.
That
I
PSN
bought,
sale is pretty crazy.
I bought Windjammers
I bought
in the sale.
a ton
What?
of games. It's a really good deal. I
Isn't
saw you playing that. Yeah, I was like, oh, I didn't know. I actually never played Windjammers. I only know it because like Giant Bomb made it famous again because they just like kept playing it on their shows all the time.
Yeah, I suck at that game.
It looked pretty sweet. I mean, but yeah, it
It
seems
looks
pretty
really
hard.
cool.
Like...
Even playing the arcade mode, you just get to some of the players. It's like, no, this person is going to hand your ass to you. It would be probably the video game equivalent of reaching the top of the rankings and playing Roger Federer in Virtua Tennis.
Okay,
Whereas
there you go.
Is it that the AI on that, it just knows where it's going to hit the ball every single time, and
And then
somehow it's on.
it like hits them and the frisbee pops up and like all the way
Yeah.
up to the screen and then
And then they
once
charge
it
up
goes
and
down, it's like boom, it just points. I don't remember.
I'm curious. Is this how much did you guys pay, or how much did you pay for it, Keith?
For $4.49.
So roughly
About
$8.
$7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheap.
It's still 15 here in the U.S. I'm just looking at it right now.
Oh, yeah, maybe
Well,
the
you know
sales
what,
are
the UK
different.
is known for its beach frisbee tournaments,
Apparently not. Yeah.
so that's maybe why. Yeah.
That's exactly why.
It's crazy.
All right, I guess I'll go with my Christmas memory.
Oh, are
Start
you
it up.
talking again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, are you done? Sonic Pinball, right?
Yeah,
Sonic Spinball, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that I'll come up with some other memories as we go through the night, but yeah, I'll let you go, Evan.
All right. Before I start, I'm drinking this, Keith, the Belhaven Scottish oat stout.
Nice.
Okay.
I like it.
It's fucking great. Like it's 7%. It says it's a deep, dark, intense ale. I think I agree. It's got a lot of flavor, and
If you can get
but it's really
bitter
drinkable. It's not overpowering like that imperial
If you can
stuff.
get bitter and twisted, that's another nice one from Belhaven.
I like bitter and twisted. That sounds good.
I got the Twisted Thistle IPA, the 90, the Wee Heavy, and a Scottish ale.
Did you say 90? And is it just 90 and a dash?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that.
It's 90 shilling.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Nice. I never knew. Around this time of year, I tend to drink heavier beers. I don't know why.
Yeah, you got to stay warm
Until I
that
get me
fireplace isn't
eggnog.
real.
Say that. Gets me eggnog. All right, so Christmas. I don't know what's going on. Christmas memories. I remember when Toys R Us first got the Nintendo 64 kiosk near my house. It's about 1.5 miles from my house. Man, I'm trying to think. Like, I kind of want to ask you guys, what was the moment in your life where you saw a video game and it like just fucking blew you away? Like you couldn't believe you could control what was on the screen with a controller. When I first saw Mario 64 in that kiosk in Toys R Us, I couldn't fucking believe it. I would go to school every day. I'd walk about 1.5 miles, uphill both ways, snowing, dodging cars. It was like Paperboy in this. No, I just walk about 1.5 miles just to play Super Mario 64 after school, as long as I could until Toys R Us got home, and I'd go back the same day, twice a day, just to play. I couldn't fucking believe it. But so before I get into my Christmas present, like Keith, what's the first game that you saw and you couldn't believe you could control it with the controller?
Do you know what? I don't know. Either that or I don't want to admit it because I'll prove that how much older I am than you two.
All right, well, I'll talk about my Christmas thing and you guys can think about it. So anyways,
I mean, I got mine, but I
96.
just finished up talking, so.
Okay, this is pretty quick. So, my brother and I knew it was coming. We got our N64 with Super Mario 64, and we hook everything up, and the TV is not working. I think it was like a 27-inch CRT TV.
That was huge. That was huge back in the day.
Everything like, oh no, caught up in the Christmas spirit. He's like, I guess we're getting a new TV, and then like everyone's like, yeah, and then whatever, insert like ad here for some cheesy ass like Seasons holiday greeting commercial or whatever. So we go to the store, get the TV, come back, we plug it in, it's not working. We're like, oh, it was the fucking power outlet. And so I got a free TV to put in my room.
Wow.
Because of that. It was the first, I think it might have been the first color TV that I had in my room. But yeah, there was one on the power outlet, which is in the entertainment center, way in back. There was one that didn't work. So we just moved it over to the next one. Boom. And to me, seeing a 32-inch TV, and not
Right.
only that, but seeing Mario on it, that TV was huge. I'd never seen a TV that big. I was like, holy shit. So we spent like the entire Christmas day relatives' houses, and I just wanted to go home and play Super Mario. So once we did the whole relatives things at my mom's side of the family, went back, and my brother and I were just like looking at this gigantic 32-inch CRT TV playing Super Mario 64 like all fucking day. And then I got an extra TV out of it, so that was nice.
And all
was
it
great.
took was you vandalizing the power outlet.
Yeah, I was a young boy. I was sticking things where they didn't belong. I liked how it.
This is a PG podcast, Evan. Come on.
But yeah, that was.
With our language, it's not.
So okay, so Matt, you said you had one. What was like the first game you saw that like you couldn't believe you could actually control it?
So it was around that same time. But my experience was not Toys R Us, it was Blockbuster. Because Blockbuster had the kiosks and like you could rent the consoles and stuff. So if
Yeah.
you had $20, you could rent a console for 2 days or whatever. Um,
What
I
a racket.
yeah.
What a
So
difference.
I remember there was a pizza place that was like in between my house and my friend's house that we used to go to that had Virtua Fighter on the arcade.
Ah,
And
okay.
I remember going to Blockbuster and seeing the Sega Saturn kiosk. This is obviously before the PlayStation and all that came out. And seeing Virtua Fighter and being like, holy shit, like you can take this home? Like this is
Wow.
something that, so that I think that was the first time that I saw a game that I was like, oh my God, this is exactly like what I've experienced, with arcade machines.
You're like,
Um,
graphics are never gonna get better than.
yeah, exactly. Like, no, this is it. This is the glass ceiling. This is as far as we're going.
Dude, speaking of that, and I completely forgot till you had said that. I went to Six Flags Great America. Do you have that around your parts, Matt?
Um, kind of.
It's just it's an amusement park that their main focus is roller coasters.
Yeah, there's a Six Flags in Northern California, so I'm familiar with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think maybe about in eighth grade, I went to Six Flags Great America, and in the one of the arcade centers, they had Virtual Fighter 3, and it was brand new.
Right.
And like from 2 to 3 was a huge step. That game blew me away. I wasn't much of a fighting game fan. I've never liked the genre because I've just been terrible at it, and I don't have the motivation to put the time in to get good at them because there's no story. It's
Right.
just
Right.
you're progressing by learning how to play the game better. But when I saw Virtual Fighter 3, it was like $1 per play. It was probably more than that actually. But yeah, I remember seeing that game, and it was in this massive. Might have even been a double screen. I can't quite remember, but yeah, like that game blew me away as well. Keith, you got anything?
Streets of Rage.
Nice. What were you playing before that?
Arcade or Genesis or Mega
Yeah,
Drive?
Mega Drive version.
Sorry.
Yeah. What was I playing before that? Not a lot. I didn't actually own a console until I bought a friend's N64 off them.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Was it partly because like the sprites were so big in Streets of Rage?
No, the Streets of Rage was just a freaking cool sounding game. The music in that game is really good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
some awesome sweet ass like Jean-Claude Van Damme, like Lionheart, badass.
Yeah, and you get to beat up a boxing kangaroo, and is it how could games get any better than
Always
that?
comes back to that fucking kangaroo.
Yeah, Streets of Rage
and-
put kangaroos in their games before
Before it
Tekken
was
knew
cool.
it was cool.
Or before Spyro.
Drake put kangaroos. Drake
Yeah.
made kangaroos cool before Streets of Rage.
But the one thing that I really liked about that game, which they took out of the 2 and 3, was calling in the police strikes.
That was fucked up,
Yeah,
actually. It's like
yeah.
they have so much artillery.
You've got to have a super move, damn it.
No,
Yeah,
maybe it was like satire and like how powerful and how much artillery police in the state population, like it's out of balance. It's not calling
But
in air strikes on like poor people.
The super moves in the later games are a bit shit. Someone's got a quick punch combo. Would you like the screen to span all the way back to the beginning? A car screech up, someone get out with a bazooka or a mortar and just fire off loads of rounds into where you're standing, and hopefully you don't get killed. Or you can punch someone a few times.
Oh, can you get
Yeah.
Can you get hit by that as well?
No,
if you're in that
you
line of
don't.
fire?
You
Okay.
you just stand there, and then all these explosions go off, and you're just standing there, and everyone else falls down. But yeah, that
So
was the kind of
You
rounds.
recently played those games as well, didn't you? On the Switch.
That's not on. No, that's not out yet. That's on the Sega Mega Drive collection as well.
What about?
Oh,
Oh,
which is
yeah,
not
yeah.
yet?
Yeah.
You're thinking of the
that's out.
Capcom beat 'em up bundle, which is different
Yeah,
games.
the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle is awesome. If there weren't an 18-hour time difference between you and Matt, I'd try and say get on and we can beat some people up online. But
I definitely would at some point. Like, I don't hate anything online, but as long as it's like co-op, I'll do it.
I desperately need a video capture card so that we can get our video webcam feeds to put with the gameplay.
Right, that would be awesome.
yeah,
that would be
but yeah,
ideal.
that game that should be relatively cheap at the moment as well. That should be in the sale. But if you guys can pick that up, it's just I had a massive nostalgia-gasm when I bought that.
Yeah, I was surprised. For some reason, Keith, I did not peg you, and I don't know why. I just didn't think, I didn't peg you as someone that was super into beat 'em ups. And I remember someone brought it up, and you just like
Went off on one about Final Fight for about 5
yeah,
minutes.
I was like, oh shit, this guy loves beat 'em up.
Final
Like
fight.
I absolutely love beat 'em ups, and it all makes sense now because I actually recently re-listened to a podcast reload episode. Oh no, it's the episode I just edited. Never mind. Where you...
There's like an hour of shit that was cut out.
where you'd been playing Dragon's Crown Pro, so it makes sense now why you like that game so much because it totally is like a modern beat 'em up.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
does
and
make sense.
I said when we were talking about that, I'm playing as an Amazonian called Evan.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't hear that or something, right? Like listening
Yeah.
back on that, like you're like, okay, he didn't hear that. I was like, what? I don't know what happened there. My apologies.
Is there any?
Can we play that game? Can we play that game together?
No. All I heard was.
Your audio broke.
That
It
is
sounded like the. It sounded
Funnily
like the
enough,
worst
that is
Wookiee
exactly what I
impression.
said. That is exactly what I said.
Apparently, we weren't listening closely.
Sorry, Keith. I was wondering, can you and I play co-op online in Dragon's Crown Pro?
Yeah,
If I have the game, we
absolutely.
we should totally do that. I do know it has cross save, so I can pull because I've only played it on PS3. I still need to buy it, but I'll buy it and I'll just pull my sweet Amazon. I'll rename it Keith, and then we can play together.
Is there a requirement to dress up as the Amazon?
Yes.
I haven't.
No one
I
wants.
haven't
to
got
see
my
that.
chain. I haven't got my chainmail bikini back from the dry cleaners.
I'm mandating that right now. You guys have to do that.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to. If it's not ready, if they haven't cleaned it yet, just let it be.